did it all go so wrong? Look, I'm not naive. I know what The Boys is. I went into it knowing what The Boys is. I liked it for what The Boys was. It was fun. It was enjoyable. It was awful yet comedic. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna say that season 4 didn't have some moments that, made me laugh a little bit. Yeah. But that doesn't mean it didn't have serious problems. I mean, like, really. It's become work now to watch it, and that's not fun anymore. It really isn't. It's just really, really troubling now. I mean, when it started off, people were saying about how, The Boys isn't what it used to be and all of that. I took a watch and I was like, okay, this isn't exactly what I thought it's supposed to be, but I still stuck with it and said, whatever, let's see what happens, and it just didn't get any better. Oh, as I say, I do understand what The Boys is, and I liked it for what it was and all of that. But that being the case, there are 10 things, my top 10 things that really are somewhat problematic when it comes to The Boys, in a sense. So let's dive into it one time and get it done. Number 1, Vought. Vought used to be this company that the superheroes were part of. It was an evil corporation that, knew that these superheroes were pieces of shit. And it covered it up, it turned them into celebrities, it did all these things. And yeah, it was designed to be shady as hell. They were doing immoral, horrible things, and that's part of what made it fun. But now Vought has just become Disney. I'm serious. That's exactly what Vought has become in this iteration of what The Boys is. What has this become? Disney. I mean, the focus, the things that they're doing are very Disney-like. You understand me? Trying to turn the populace against each other so they don't realize the crap that Vought is doing. Focusing a whole bunch of nonsense on TV shows and movies, which was okay before because it was part of what the fabric of it was. But when you see them having launch campaigns, where they come out and telling you what's coming next and all this other stuff, it's basically like a MCU reveal party where they're showing the upcoming phases of what's going on. That is so freaking stupid. It really is. Now I understand they're going to take certain elements from things that happen in the real world and put it in there. But when they're just pretty much taking everything and trying to change it into something to fit this, it doesn't work in a world that has superheroes. Literal people with superpowers and stuff like that. Trying to change it to fit this world doesn't quite match up. You could take certain elements from it, but not everything, and just try to put it in there and then act like, we're going to say this thing in passing, but you shouldn't read too much into it. Yeah, I mean, Vought used to be an evil company that we all like to hate, but now you've turned them into Disney, and everybody pretty much dislikes Disney at this point, so it doesn't do Vought any justice at all. Number 2, Starlight. Look, Annie January, when she first started off as Starlight, she came there as the naive, preppy girl who wanted to use her powers to do good. It quickly became evident to her and to everybody that all these heroes that she idolized were scumbags through and through. And the fact that she still wanted to do things was admirable. Over these seasons, we've watched her grow, mature, and all this other stuff. And it's been a nice journey to see her develop as a character. And look, I'm just going to say this here. It's pretty clear in this season that Erin Moriarty had some work done. I'm not going to get into any debate about it. I'm just saying from what I saw, it pretty much looked very evident in that regards. But that's all I'm saying on that. Well, what they've done to Starlight now you don't even recognize her as a character anymore. They've basically turned her into this political mouthpiece where basically you have her as the voice of the right wing, and like the other side is the left wing. They have the people there calling her this, the people who support her, and the Starlighters and all of this nonsense. And you keep pushing this political and not onto. I mean, it's even this part where this firecracker lady, who I'll get to in a little while, comes out and reveals that Starlight had an abortion, and tell her the big thing about baby killer and all kind of stuff, and it's all things that they're trying to do to just push real world elements onto these things, because they pretty much built up Starlight like she's supposed to be the perfect example of all this sort of stuff. And then you get all this thing going on, and it keeps happening more and more. You see her start off this season wanting to be some big change, and then by the middle of the season, that goes straight to hell. And then at the end, she ended up, just end up and all this sort of stuff. Even at the part where her powers kind of stopped working because of all the stress and all kind of shit on down, all of this nonsense. I mean, she was a good character when she was developing herself, growing, doing things. We had no problem with that. When you decided to turn her into a mouthpiece for this political movement, it wasn't working at all, and it just felt wrong and cheap. That's it, just really wrong and cheap. Number 3, Homelander. Look, I'm just going to say this really clearly. Anthony Starr's performance as Homelander, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Man has been carrying this show along with Carl Curban as Billy Butcher. They have been carrying this show, and I don't get me wrong, Anthony Starr, fantastic actor. The way he does that role of Homelander, fantastic. But that doesn't mean there aren't problems, and the biggest problem is Homelander needs to die. That's it, he needs to die. I'm telling you, because he has worn out his welcome. In season 1, Homelander was a little bit more tolerable. He's always been this man-child who has this propensity for wanting everything to revolve around him and be perfect, and he will kill and think anything like that. But he's also had this cunningness about him. And that's just something that you could actually respect. When you get to season 4 now, he's just absolutely stupid. That's the only way to put it, absolutely stupid. Homelander wants to take over the government, take over America, take over all this other stuff. That's what he wants to do. And he has this so-called plan, and he brings on Sister Sage, we'll talk about in a little while also, to help him with this plan. But the thing about Homelander is, if when this part where he is talking and Deep and A-Train are just agreeing with everything he says, and then he basically tells Deep to get up and go and give A-Train a blowjob. And they're going to do it because they're terrified of him. And he's pissed off at that because he doesn't want people who just agree with him. He wants people to speak their own mind and challenge him. And yet the minute you speak your own mind and challenge him and tell him something he's doing is wrong, he gets damn upset and doesn't want that anymore. That's what happens. So up till he's like a perpetual child who cannot understand what he's doing and how it affects everything that he's literally putting in place to anything. His genius plan to take over the government and all that resulted on certain aspects lining up perfectly. But he has no idea how to do it. You understand me? He needs political puppets to get it done because he can't do it himself. God forbid he just gets an army of superheroes, goes to Washington, D.C., kills the president, everybody and takes over. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, that would be it. But no, they want to go through this whole thing of this big political conspiracy of that thing that's going on, and he doesn't know how to do it. And then he literally ruins the plan because once again, he has this freaking temper tantrum that he keeps having. He outs the woman who he wants to put in as his puppet, as a soup, even though that was one thing that they shouldn't have done. You understand me? He destroys He destroys his room and stuff because he finds a picture of Billy Butcher that his son has. He literally screws up the entire plan, doing shit he wasn't even supposed to do because he cannot control himself. And then at the end of it, he's sitting there all depressed because why? Oh, the plan is all screwed up because you screwed it up. I'm telling you, if they had just left Homelander as a psychopath who was going to go and take out the government and take over, it might have worked. But this giant political conspiracy you keep trying to put him into, a man who literally has the common sense of a house flea, isn't going to work. Isn't going to work. He's terrible at what he does. That's the whole thing about it. He's a man-child who has no business running anything, being anything like that. When he was under the control of Vought, who was telling him what to do, basically, it was okay. But now he's taken over the company, and from the minute he did it, you could tell he had no idea what he's doing. None. And it's just ruining Homelander as a character, because you keep seeing, just an absolute moron. Number 4, The Seven. What I always liked about The Boys, and I always tell people this, is that The Boys is basically like DC Comics on crack. That's it. I tell people about them, basically like DC Comics on crack. Homelander is evil Superman. Black Noir is evil Batman. Queen Maeve is evil Wonder Woman. The Deep is evil Aquaman. A-Train is evil Flash. You had Starlight who was in there, and you had one other member, but they kind of changed and stuff, because you had Translucent before they died and all that. Okay, but you had them there. The thing is, the Seven were interesting because what made this show really good is that they were this evil group of superheroes. They did evil things. That's what they were about. Finding out that they got their powers from Compound V, all of these things made them who they are. And as the series went along, you got to see different aspects of them and what they were doing, all that stuff. Okay, they're not the Seven anymore. They're basically just the Three, if you think about it. That's really it, because it's just Homelander and like 2 or 3 idiots that he has with him. That's about it. The Deep is there, and the Deep is absolutely pathetic. No one cares about him. Homelander killed the original Black Noir and brought in a new Black Noir who, talks and says some funny things and stupid stuff and all, and it is kind of amusing at times. Okay, right. Then he brings on Firecracker, I believe her name is, whose only reason for being there is that she runs a podcast spreading propaganda. That's it. That's the only reason for being there. That and the fact that she took some drugs to make herself produce breast milk that Homelander sucks on because he's into that. That's about it. The woman has no other reason for being there. She's not a superhero in any kind of way. She's just a gossip monger. That's it. Yes, she has a problem with Starlight and they have history, okay, but she's just a gossip monger who does nothing. He also brought in Sister Sage, who's supposed to be the smartest person in the world and doesn't seem smart at all. They're not the Seven anymore, and the fact that this is not a group of evil superheroes anymore is just ridiculous. I mean, Queen Maeve and her big thing about having to fight Homelander, all that stuff, and what happened with her, okay, well, once you got rid of Queen Maeve, got rid of certain elements, especially Queen Maeve, because she was the one person who was actually willing to stand up to Homelander and the rest of them. When you got rid of these elements, they're no longer the Seven. It's just basically a one-man show, which is just Homelander and 2 or 3 idiots that he keeps around with him. That's it. That's it. And nobody cares about the Deep anymore. He and his whole screwing octopus and all kind of nonsense. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They've ruined that because they don't have that anymore. Number 5, Sister Sage. Okay, you know how I said Sister Sage is supposed to be the smartest person in the world? So how do you represent somebody, or how should I say, how do you portray somebody as the smartest person in the world? Not by having them do anything smart, no. By just basically telling everybody every 5 seconds that she's the smartest person in the world. That's it. When you first meet Sister Sage in like one episode, they mention she's the smartest person in the world about 7 times. 7 or 8 times, honestly. Because that's how you're supposed to get it. Never see her do anything. When you first meet her, she's living in a crappy apartment surrounded by books. That's it. And then Homelander goes to recruit her because he wants somebody smart. And then the minute she doesn't follow what he wants, he gets upset. She even has this thing where she's telling Victoria Newman this story about how when she was a little girl, her grandmother had some brain cancer thing or something like that. And she discovered a cure for it. And she presented her cure to this board of doctors or kind of thing, who just laughed, patted her on the head, and ignored her and left. And she's all, that's one of her reasons. Or she could cure cancer, she could stop global warming and all this kind of thing and feedback and thing. But why would she do that? People are cancer, they just need to be wiped out. And I'm like, that's your big thing? Why didn't you just cure Granny's cancer on your own? If you're supposedly that smart. I mean, come on, if you look at Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Lunella built an entire secret lab under her apartment. You're trying to tell me you couldn't cure cancer? What the hell? Really? You couldn't do that? That's, you see, have her be the smartest person in the world by actually doing smart things. Have her create interesting things. Do amazing things like that. No. What was her entire genius plan? She and Homelander want to take over everything, and she riles up people to go against the Starlight and all kind of stuff. And then even when Homelander fires her, she comes back at the end and is all, oh, you know, she had a plan going all the time and everything worked on the way she wanted it to. She couldn't tell him because she knew he was going to screw up. So your genius thing about how smart you are is that you could just manipulate people. That's it. Build something fantastic. Do amazing things. Show everybody how smart you are. No, you just tell people that you're smart and your brilliant, smart ideas are to just manipulate people and then also give yourself a lobotomy so you could screw the deep. And apparently she was also screwing the new Black Noir or whatever. But that's it. That's how you show everybody that you're so smart, not by actually doing anything, no, by just saying that you're smart and manipulating people. You know who else used to do the manipulation thing really well? Stan Edgar. And he actually knew what the hell he was doing. I mean, it wouldn't be interesting to see that, you know, she was working for Stan Edgar all along. Yeah, but it doesnn't change the fact that, you know, yes, you claim to be the smartest person in the world, but all you do is just tell people that you're smart and do nothing else. That's it. There's nothing else. I waste that time, boy. Number 6, A-Train. Okay, this one isn't necessarily something that I actually have a problem with. It's something that I actually like. A-Train goes through a redemption arc in this season, which I think is really good, because this whole thing started when A-Train literally ran through Huey's girlfriend. Literally ran through, but he was just left holding her arms. That was it. You understand me? Ran through it. And yes, throughout this season we have seen A-Train do some really shitty things. Him and his whole addiction to Compound V, and you know, all this crap that he did and all that went on. But this season, he actually worked with the boys to get information to actively bring down Homelander and expose what was going on. And even when Mother's Milk wanted to leave, A-Train actually told him that, you know, you shouldn't run away, you should stay and fight. And told him to know, how he inspired him, all that thing. It wasn't easy, it wasn't thing. He didn't want to do it at first, but you know, he was actually willing to do it. And I must say, A-Train's redemption arc this season was probably one of the best things about this show. It really was well to see. And this could have worked if you had like the actual 7 there, because you already had Queen Maeve turn against Homelander last time around. Had they worked, had she and somebody else been there, and maybe she and A-Train had actually turned against Homelander, that would have been a really iconic move to make. And I expect that we will see A-Train again next season. Okay, but I must say, his redemption arc this season, really, really loved it. That was one of the best things about this show. Really, really well. Number 7, Ashley. Okay, there's stupid, there's pathetic, and then there's Ashley. I have no idea what the hell is wrong with this woman. Honestly to God, none. She claims she wants to leave Vought because she can't stand it anymore. But she won't leave because she's afraid of Homelander and all this other stuff. Yet, you know for a fact these people don't care about you at all. Homelander made you CEO of Vought, but you're basically just a puppet. They disrespect you, they hate you, they treat you like garbage. You literally have watched Homelander kill people more than once. At every opportunity she has gotten to leave, she's turned it down. Literally turned it down. Even this time around, when A-Train comes and tells her that, Homelander is going to realize what he did soon enough, they need to leave, she doesn't want to go. She doesn't leave. Only then to quickly find out that, Homelander wants to put his plan into place of taking what he got, all kind of things. So he needs to get rid of everybody at Vought who has any dirt on him. And who does he put at the top of his list? Ashley. So what's her genius plan? Go and take Compound V. What powers is it going to give her? I don't know. We'll find out next season, maybe, or you're okay. But let's be honest now. Ashley's a moron. You had everybody to leave. You need to leave them because I'm telling you, if this thing goes sideways, they're going to pin it on you. You're either going to spend the rest of your life in jail or you're going to be dead. That's about it. Get out while the getting's good. No, you refuse to go. You want to stay. Enjoy your freaking self. When you get horribly murdered, that's your problem. But you're an idiot. There's no other way to describe that. You're just an idiot. That's all. You're an idiot. Number 8, Butcher. I will say Carl Urban, along with Anthony Starr, like I said earlier, and the people who've been carrying this show. Yes, Jack Quaid, Huey Campbell, he's always been who he is. He's changed over the season. We got that, no problem with it. But, Butcher has always just been really funny. But when you see him and oi, and everything really works and stuff. Now, this season, Butcher's dying of cancer because of the temporary VOS and some of the other. He's hallucinating his dead wife, and some of the other, and apparently some kind of tentacle things moving through him and all this stuff. Now, when he encounters Joe Kessler, it was kind of think to yourself, maybe Joe Kessler is another hallucination that he's having. And that's what's going on with him. And it turns out to actually be so. But the way Butcher plays this is really well done. You see him struggling to remain good as the world starts to fall apart around him. Things that happen. He's dying. He needs to take out Homelander. That has been his obsession long ago. And when he finds out about a virus that can kill soups, he wants to get his hands on it to kill Homelander, but the only way to make it strong enough to kill Homelander, have to make it strong enough to kill every soup around the world. And he's struggling against his dark impulses to actually do it. But when it is, you see, some certain things happen that are so bad, and he eventually gives into that darkness, and then you see he kills Victoria Newman with his tentacle, things that come out and all of that. Butcher has turned to the dark side. He's embraced that. But it's a journey to be there. And there's only really one way this is going to end for him. But seeing that struggle, seeing what he had to overcome, because even sick, he was still trying to do what he could do. And yes, the boys have kind of turned against him, all kinds of other things, but he's still the best one to lead the team. I mean, now he's kind of gone rogue on his own, but I mean, even before so, because Mother's Milk couldn't do it. He just was not equipped to do that. Butcher could do it because Butcher understood that certain things you have to be ruthless to do. So yeah, again, Butcher, fantastic. Number 9, Ryan. Okay, look, either kill the kid or just shoot him off the planet or some kind of damn thing, because Ryan has become beyond annoying now. Honestly, beyond annoying. Either he's good or he's bad, or he's good or he's bad, or he's good or he's bad. It is so freaking annoying. 1 minute he does something awful, the next minute he's trying to be good. Then he does something awful, then he's trying to be good. Then, he didn't mean to do this awful thing, but he's trying to be good. Then he actually means to do this awful thing, but he's also trying to be good. It's so freaking annoying. Literally annoying. Even when he actually kills a woman at the end, that's what kind of finally pushes Butcher to actually go to the dark side. And his whole relationship, Ryan's whole relationship with his so-called father, Homelander, is just toxic as hell. I mean, when Homelander overhears some people talking about how Ryan has star power, he literally shows up in the boys' big superhero movie debut just because he's jealous of the attention Ryan is getting. We're going to literally have Ryan kill somebody again by accident. And I mean, like, Ryan is just such an annoying character. It doesn't work anymore. It's really annoying. I just want him gone. And finally, we get to number 10. And number 10 is the thing that really pissed me off the most about this season of The Boys. Frenchie and Kimiko. You spent 3 seasons building up Frenchie and Kimiko. 3 seasons. You started off with Frenchie desperately wanting to connect with Kimiko. Kimiko unsure of how she could connect with anybody. You understand me? Frenchie actually wanted to learn her own version of sign language so he could actually communicate with her. He felt a connection to Kimiko because both of them had past that they weren't proud of. They did things that were not good. And this season was a chance for them to really grow and cement that. No, all of a sudden, let's just make Frenchie gay. Out of nowhere. Apparently, when Frenchie was some kind of assassin, he killed some people, and the family of this guy that he know who he got some work with Starlight, and then all of a sudden, he just hopping in bed with this guy. Out of nowhere. We all know Frenchie did things in the past that were not kosher. Okay. But there was literally no need for this shit. None. This was a great opportunity to have not only Frenchie deal with what I'm not saying that you could not have introduced the guy. You could have done that. You introduced him, okay, fine. But there was no need for Frenchie to want to hop in the sack with him. None. Why did that even need to be in there? Because you all need to tick as many boxes as possible. Even Kimiko meets somebody from her past and she has to look into all the dark things that she has done. This was a great opportunity for both of them to bond over what they have done and finally cement their relationship and actually take it to the next level. No, that's throwing this gay shit that nobody asked for. Have Frenchie give himself up to the police and then spend like a 2 episodes in jail refusing to talk to Kimiko. And then at the end, or they just suddenly kiss, and that should suddenly make everything all the better. Even when Frenchie is taken away and Kimiko finally talks. Oh, that's so shocking. It would have made it much more impactful had you built that up over the seasons instead of trying to play the gay card. That was like the worst thing they did this season. I mean, the other shit was bad, but what they did with Frenchie and Kimiko after spending 3 seasons, really getting fans into the two of them and how they are, and their whole relationship just to do this shit was just absolutely toxic. That's it. Toxic as hell. And yeah, that's my top 10 takeaways from this season of The Boys. I cannot recommend The Boys to anybody anymore. I mean, they say with the upcoming 5th season, it's going to end. My thing is, it couldn't come fast enough, because I think they just ruined it too badly at this point. That's the thing, they ruined it too badly, and the only thing left is for everything to just burn. That's all. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.